Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Hearthstone deck spotlight. My name is Tommy Wave, and today we're going to be taking a look at Sourcefiend's Deathrattle Rogue. This list comes to us over from Hearthstone, of course. If you are watching on YouTube, those links are down in the description. Go check that deck out. Deck code's down there too. You'll also find a link over to my Twitch channel, which is where we record all of these things. Come hang out sometime, have a bit of a chat. But we're looking at Sourcefiend's Deathrattle Rogue here. If you haven't been paying a lot of attention, Deathrattle Rogue for a period of time in the last expansion was the hotness. I think people had kind of figured out where they wanted to be. It was kind of the rise of the egg decks, you know, with Devil's Or Egg wanting to be cracked in many, many different ways, and people taking advantage of that. I think ultimately Deathrattle Hunter kind of came out of that like period of time as the deck of choice, especially when it comes to death rattle effects. But we've got a couple of new additions here for Rogue that may in fact give this deck a little bit more life, most notably the Undertaker. For those of you who haven't seen it, it's still legendary from the latest set. It's an 8 mana, 8/5 battle cry. It gained the death rattle effects of 3 friendly minions that died this game. So we're going to be trying to capitalize on those death rattle synergies with cards like Devil's Or Egg. We've got Carnivorous Cube in here, which helps us both crack our egg and also is an egg itself. We've talked about that before. We've got Mechanical Whelp in here as well. This is another, you know, I guess low tempo play, very low stats for the mana that you invest into it. But if you can ever manage to get it dead or use a Necreum Vial or particularly Necreum Blade on it, you're going to get quite a lot of value. And so the Undertaker's in here as a way to hopefully, you know, take those death rattles that we've used throughout the game and give us that one last late game punch. Particularly, hopefully we can combine it with a Necreum Vial or a Carnivorous Cube just for that that added value. Outside of that, the deck is a pretty reactive deck. You can see we've got a lot of single target removal in here. We've got 2 backstabs, 2 eviscerates. We've got 2 saps as well, which I think is pretty well positioned right now. Also got the double Fan of Knives in here. No Thalnos, which is kind of interesting. I guess that is maybe not a death rattle you want to add to your Undertaker pool, but I think it could be interesting and could help make these Fan of Knives a little bit better. Also got just a couple of singletons in here, SI7 Agent, a singleton Prep, usually I guess to pair with the Necreum Vial. A 1 of Vile Spine, which feels a bit weird. I don't think we've ever played 1 Vile Spine in any deck, but we do have the addition of Walk the Plank to the Rogue archetype, another new spell that destroys an undamaged minion. So maybe perhaps Sourcefiend wanted to still keep the 2 unconditional kind of removal effects in there, but make sure that one of them was a little bit easier to deploy, or you know, didn't add minions to the board, or something along those lines. I'd love to find out why the 1-on-1 split of Vile Spine and Walk the Plank. Regardless, a lot of the other typical Rogue kind of stuff going on, so we're going to be trying to play some eggs, crack some eggs, get a lot of value, play some huge boys, some huge dino boys particularly, and try and win some games. So without further ado, let's jump in. Okay, up here against the Warlock. I think we can keep one of these backstabs. So if you are watching this video, as I said, on YouTube, if you check out that Hearthstone link down there, you will find a bit of a mulligan guide that Sourcefiend has included. They do recommend keeping Cavern Shiny Finder, Backstab, Devil's Or Egg, SI7, Faldor Ice Rider, so we'll keep a Backstab, send the other 2 back. Especially if this is like even Warlock or just control Warlock, 2 backstabs. Definitely going to rot in our hand for a very long time. And if it is Zoo Warlock, hopefully 1 backstab can kind of lead us to victory. No turn 1 play is pretty curious. I think we'll just dagger up. We won't attack, just in case it's Zoo Warlock with a bit of a slow draw. We may want to have the extra charge on our dagger. I don't think the 1 damage is super relevant. Both these fans are a little bit awkward.
Don't tell me what to do.
So Vulgar Homunculus, not really indicative of too much. But the egg is a pretty good draw there, considering Alternatively, we were probably just going to backstab, fan, dagger, something like that. Is this a spellbreaker?
Your magic shall not save you.
Okay.
Welcome to my web.
Sucks to not be getting any value off of this dagger, but in saying that, looks like our opponent's on. It's a very, like, all of these cards are very even lock cards, but our opponent does not have the hero power. The power of the hero.
Welcome.
We'll just set up all our spiders. There's no shadow steps or spirit of the shark, augmented elec. None of that in here. Opponent with the answers. Definitely seems like a matchup where Undertaker's going to be tremendously useful.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
Alright, we've got our shiny finder, so we can set up a Necrium Blade, but it might be a bit too late. Kind of feels unlikely we'll be able to cube even a, even an Elven Minstrel.
No shinies.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Not too many spiders, please. So if we play our Undertaker now, it's just going to have a single mechanical whelp Deathrattle. No. The ooze. Brutal. I mean, what do we do here?
Here we
Munch. If our opponent has the other Siphon Soul, this is probably a Spellstone, I would say. The other Siphon Soul.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
Alright, we did a thing. We got some Spider Boys. If our opponent has Twisting Nether, we're okay. If they have Double Defile, we're okay. Hellfire has to pair with something else. Hellfire Defile. Hellfire. Hellfire. Hellfire? Doesn't kill us.
Out of my
Let's put us to 4 though. Which is, as they say, tremendously low. Very low. Now I want to keep this cube in play. Just trying to think what our opponent could have next turn, if they have Gul'dan or if they have another taunt. Considered sapping the Stonehill defender, but it seems like that more often than not just leads to our opponent discovering more defensive tools. We've got lethal on the board. I doubt our opponent's running Leroy or Doom Guards. Jeez, that was a really tight one. I think I'm sure we probably could have taken some different lines to maybe get ahead more, but at the end of the day, we were kind of able to really spread our opponent's removal thin just by dropping these kind of must-answer creatures. And then when our opponent couldn't answer them all, we had the way to capitalize. And the great thing about all those Deathrattle cards, those eggs, is that they're also pretty resilient to removal. So, a close one to start up. GG's.
Watch your...
Okay. Up here against the Mage. I will keep the Shiny Finder and the Devil's Egg. As that is what the Mulligan Guide does recommend, and I definitely believe that, especially Shiny Finder, really ties a lot of things together. Easy clap. Hopefully we can pick up a Necreum Vial to go along with our Devil's Egg. Opponent is on Odd Mage. Odd Mage. This is a really... We should definitely play some Odd Mage soon. Whoa! Odd Mage with Diamol. Funk me up. That matches up really well with our Shiny Finder. Though I think the hero power is significantly more likely to do us in.
Yo, shiny.
If they hero power, we can Necreum Blade kill this. We're set up to Devil's Egg. And if that's just explosive runes. Problem is these decks running like Spitting Image as well. I think we'll just go for the vial, the blade. Yeah, some of these tempo mage or odd mage lists have started playing Splitting Image, Spitting Image, Splitting Image. When one of your minions is attacked, summon a copy of it. There's the runes. So the real question comes, do we want to trade a charge off our Necreum Blade to kill this Secret Keeper? I think we're okay. Like, if our opponent doesn't answer the Devil's Oar, then next turn we're going off. We're cubing it, we're attacking, we're cubing, we're summoning some boys, and it is Odd Mage, so they're going to have to rely on cards like Blast Wave and Flame Strike, but especially in a version that's playing this many secrets. think we kind of want to test for some secrets here. So let's go. Okay. So this absorbs the full explosive runes, which is great, and gives us 2 more threats. So both explosive runes down. We are on 14 though. Good thing about odd mage that no fireballs or anything like that, so we just got to be aware of our opponent probably hero powering us every turn. That's a pretty reasonable clock. Potentially Leroy or something like that coming out. We may want to kind of push the advantage with one of these cold bloods as well.
I wonder. They'll never know what it is.
Nightblade. Well, ain't that just a thing?
Welcome to my web.
So this is lethal on board. We have 14 plus 4 is 18 plus 3 is 21. So the opponent does have to do something about this. Real interesting that our opponent's best play was a Nightblade. They didn't have any other, like, something cheaper with the hero power, which is only 1 less damage. Maybe they just wanted the body on board to... I mean, one Cinder going face is about average. Not losing the 5-1 though. That's very good.
Time runs out on me. What to do? What to do?
Backstab not really helping here.
Welcome to my web.
Do we keep this Necrium Blade around? Attack, we put them to 5. I can't see a combination of things happening where we like need to... Where potentially like drawing the other Necrium Blade leads us to a lethal that we wouldn't have already had. We'll just pass back, but 8 mana. This is where we could see some nasty stuff. But 9 is where the real bad stuff comes out. See if our opponent has like a Flame Strike here. It does kill everything, but if we'd put them to 5, even if we drew the other,
I wonder.
the Cavern Shiny Finder or the other Necrium Blade, would not have found any extra lethals. Face. They got the... There he is. So he took one too many damage there, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I haven't seen like a version of Odd Mage like this with the kind of more tempo-y elements. So it might be something we'll have to check out soon. GG's, well played. All right, here with the Deathrattle Rogue up against the Paladin. Now, do we keep the Necrium Blade on its own, or do we just try and get the Cavern Shiny Finders? I guess we'll mulligan it to try and find the Shiny Finder, because that's just a better play. It fits the curve a bit better. Also, because we don't have any... I think if we had an egg, I'd consider keeping the egg and the blade. But now we get the Shiny Finder. Got Coin SI7, which could be pretty good against this odd Paladin. We really just want to hit all our Fan of Knives, you know? Actually going to coin out a dagger here.
Here we go.
Getting some early trades is going to be pretty valuable, I imagine. Our dagger will be gone by the time we have our Necrium Blade out. Does mean that comboing this Vile Spine or this SI7 is a fair bit more difficult. But we want to make sure that this odd Paladin doesn't get incredible value over time. We're fine trading the... Ooh, Backstab. We'll save that to combo with the SI7. Don't feel like we need to protect this Cavern Shiny Finder, considering it's very, very, very low value in this matchup. It trades with everything. Just messing with an even mage and prepping to go on holiday in a couple of days. Awesome, Vox. Where are you going on holidays to?
This guy's tough.
An even mage as well. It's very interesting. Kind of a controlling even mage, or have you found some neat combos that you can be doing? Because even mage gives you access to the totem, right? Which is something that odd mage doesn't. The spirit rather. The one that makes your hero power cleave. Heading to Africa for a month. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. So all of Africa, South Africa, like any particular countries. And what are you doing over there? Got family over there, or just gone on a pilgrimage?
I wonder.
Hey, lights out.
Here we go.
So, had a couple of lines this turn. We've gone for this one. The other line was just a play Faldora Strider, but then our board kind of gets wrecked. Our opponent's in a very strong position at that point. That being said, getting the Faldora Strider down as soon as possible is really important, especially in this matchup where, you know, it's not going to go on for very long. We're either going to do some muscling, or we're going to get muscled. Ruby, what is going on? Good to see you in the chat. Even Mage. It's basically a minion-heavy deck with Mountain Giants, and lots of ways to add cards to your hand and reduce their cost. Oh, so you're doing like the what's his name? The Arcane, the 4-mana 4/5 that reduces the cost of cards in your hand that didn't start there by one. Well, this is a level up turn if I've ever seen one. But I don't think we have anything to really say about it.
Here we go.
I mean, at the very least, they can't hero power and level up, but if they have the other Lost in the Jungle... So I think a Cold Blood might save us. No.
Welcome.
Here we go.
Problem is, I think our opponent has a second level up. Or a Stormwind champion. Or a Vine Cleaver. This, the way that they've been playing this game, it's very, they've had a couple of cards in their hand that have been there for a while. I think it makes perfect sense for them to be kind of those thicker, drops in the deck, but unfortunately we tried to make some plays to curb our opponent's aggression, curb their ability to snowball. We just couldn't get there. Could not get there. So we'll jump over, we'll take a look at the deck. I think there's a couple of really big things to like about this deck. You know, we have some turns where we just go off and it's tremendous. You know, we saw in that game against the Warlock where we just had such resilient threats as well, like a multitude of resilient threats, which is really good. But yeah, in that early game, we didn't see those any fan of knives or anything like that. So it could be that, you know, the fans are there for the matchup, we just didn't see them. But yeah, I think the Cold Bloods are probably the most awkward part of this deck. Never really felt like we were going to be the aggressor in a situation where we really needed to get the game done quickly. Felt like we were a lot more grindy and things like that. I'd love to see some kind of like health gain or armor gain or something like that. Maybe Plated Beetle is kind of what we want. The boy that when he dies gives us some armor, something like that. Where is it? There he is, Plated Beetle. Maybe that's something that we might want. You know, Necroom Blade onto that could be okay. It does make it awkward if we have both the Plated Beetle and the Devil's Oreg out, and the Necroom Blade. But I think that's pretty... might be a pretty uncommon thing. Adds another Deathrattle with the pool, potentially for Undertaker or something like that. Could be that we also maybe want, instead of just a smaller life gain, we want a bigger one. But who knows? So... big shout out to Sourcefiend for this deck. Like I said before, if you want to check this deck out, links are in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Jump over to the Hearthstone deck article, give this deck a +1, leave a lovely thoughtful comment, as I know you will. My details are also down there as well, including a link over to Twitter. That's the best place to catch me if you've got a sick deck like this one you want to link to me. Hit me up in those DMs. Or if you want to come hang out with me, you can do that on Twitch as well, Tommy_Wave. We're streaming 4 days a week, at least until the end of the year, so you can come hang out, come spam at me, come be one of the lovely people in the chat. Until next time though, stay safe, stay wavy, eat the rich, and yeah, rattle some rogues. Bye. I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out other ones over here, or come subscribe to the Wave Pool for more excellent times.